Hollywood Times viewers, Judy Shields here. Today we welcome two special guests. The first being country rocker Will Wesley. He's been with us before. We're looking forward to talking to him again. Who recently released his new single and music video, Honky-Tonk U.S.A. Woo! Can't wait to talk about that. And a Swiss country music singer with strong U.S. ties, who is an ambassador of American country music in Europe and an ambassador of Swiss country music in America. Florian Fox. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Oh yeah, you just did perfectly, Judy's. Lovely to be here.
You said it better than I did.
There you go. Well, it's an honor. I've met Wesley before and Will, and it's been great to talk to him. And when I'm reading about you, I'm like so impressed. Let's not to step on Will, but let's talk a little bit about you and how'd you get all those titles. I'm excited.
Oh, Will's gonna get his turn, right?
Yes, of course.
Judy, I was so excited when I heard that the Hollywood Times was interested in doing a video interview. I was so excited, and I just came in 2 days ago. And this is already my third U.S. tour that I'm doing with Will Wesley, and I gotta say, every one of these tours has been a ball. It's just been a huge success, and seeing how things are getting bigger and bigger every year, that's just a huge piece of joy for me. And being originally from Switzerland, that's a tiny, tiny country in Europe. We have the Swiss cheese, and that comes from my country. But I've strong U.S. ties. Part of the family that lives in the U.S. in California, actually.
Wow.
And my dad, he lived in the U.S. for a very long time, and that's where I got inspired with country music, because he brought home all the records, the whole collection, Johnny Cash, Joan Baez, Bob Dylan, and so forth, and sort of injected the virus. And yeah, that's how it all got started, and here I am.
Well, I read where the media refers to you as a Swiss Johnny Cash. How do you like that?
Oh, somebody wrote that and everybody else just followed through with it. But it's, of course, it's sort of a two sides in the middle, so to speak. You got one side, it's very flattering, and I think it's a reference to my voice when I sing. It's sort of a baritone kind of voice. And of course, it's flattering, but it's huge footsteps, right? It's huge footsteps, and it's also a little bit of pressure, because when people hear this and they come out of shows, you got to do a couple of these Johnny Cash songs. But at the same time, I'm an artist in my own right. I do my own original songs. We write a lot of songs together, Will and I, and sort of to combine, to meet the expectations and combine the Johnny Cash spirit, the way of writing the songs, the trueness in the lyrics and the words, and also just bringing across my own story. That's the big challenge there.
Well, we welcome you to storytelling. That's what it's all about, Will, right? It's all about storytelling. Those are the kind of songs we all love.
That's it. It's all about the story.
So, Will, let's talk about Honky-Tonk U.S.A. Come on, that's amazing. The video's pretty darn awesome.
I'll come right out and just be honest, because we've interviewed, we're friends. I'm going to come. I'm going to shoot straight. Here we are.
Yes, you are.
I like a lot of different kinds of musics, and I support anybody who likes any kind of music. But some of the stuff coming out these days, I just am not, the biggest of supporters of, as you can tell in the song and video. And, it's not that the song is a judgment or anything of that magnitude, but Honky-Tonk U.S.A., and my friend Florian is probably going to agree with this. I don't want to speak for you, Hoss, but
go ahead.
Country music, to me, is about the very things you were just talking about, the heart and the stories. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in a lot of mainstream modern music, this is an art that's being lost. And I feel like that we need to preserve the classic country artists that paved the road for us along the way. And, you may not be straight classic country, but these guys and girls laid the foundation for what we have today. And I'm very saddened to see that institution of country music lost.
Yep.
And Honky-Tonk U.S.A. is more of a comical approach to the idea that we just cannot let country music die, and that we need to take a look around, and everything in the world these days doesn't have to be about selfies and these kind of things that everybody's doing in the mainstream media. Songs still matter and heart still matters. And how do you feel about that, Florian? You're a great artist in your own right. How's your opinion on it?
I couldn't agree more on that. I couldn't agree more. And something that's very deeply engraved into my heart, my songwriter's heart, is the famous phrase, three chords and truth. Right?
Yes.
That's what it all comes down to. Because a country music song, it can only touch your heart when there's truth in it. And I always say country music fans, they're smart people, right? They can see when you're not telling the truth and when you're telling a story that you haven't lived through yourself. So I always say, country music fans, they got both feet on the ground and their heart in the right spot. And that's the kind of music we want to write, and that's the kind of people we want to write for.
That's right. That's right.
So how did you two meet then? How did this happen?
Well, there's a very interesting story, and it all boils back to a song. I believe we met in 2020, huh, Fox?
Yeah.
We had a mutual agent, a booking agent by the name of Care. She had come to attend a couple of my shows, and I believe she had met you at an award show.
Yeah. I was playing the Texas International Country Music Awards, in Texas in 2020. Yeah, that was in October 2020, and I met her there. She was, attending my show, and she came up to me after that and said, if you ever need an agent to book you in Texas, just give me a call. And so I did. A couple of months later, I called her and said, look, you got any opportunity that I could open up a couple of shows for a Texas artist? And so she said, well, let me check. And a couple of days later, she called me back and said, how about Will Wesley? And so we got into touch.
Yeah, and it was what was interesting is when Care told me about Fox and what he was doing in Europe, I started listening to some of his songs, and the first song that I heard was your song Georgia. And I found it to be a very similar song to my song Leah, which is both songs are about being in a not so fruitful relationship. And I found similarity. I was like, wow. And we finally got to speak, and I was like, Fox, I think my ex-girlfriend goes by the name Georgia as well.
Mine by Leah.
Yeah. And we just after that became friends, and we've recorded 2 singles together, and that second one's coming out soon.
See, folks, you can't make this up, and this is going to be a country song, probably just that meeting, because that's what country music's all about, storytelling.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right.
That's what I keep saying, Judy, that Will and I, sometimes we have the feeling we're brothers from another mother.
Yes, we do. We really do. It's there's a lot of similarities there.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Fox, if you put a hat on like Will's, you probably, I could say that, some glasses and a hat, and you guys would be like out there as twins.
I'd give him the hat, Judy, but his hair is perfectly done. I don't want to mess it up.
Like, where is your hat? Come on.
Well, we're still working on that. I'm still trying to find a hat company endorsing me. So, if there's anybody out there, just let me know. Give me a call.
Oh my goodness. Well, Florian, what languages do you speak? Do you speak other languages when you lived in Switzerland? There's, since they don't have their own language, there's France and Italy and Germany. Do you speak any of those languages?
Oh wow, yeah, Judy, I see you're very well informed.
Yes.
It's actually it's a fact that we don't really have a language of our own. We sort of adapt whatever is around us. I think that's a pretty good description of Swiss people in general. We're so small, right? So we got to adapt to any circumstances that we meet. So we speak a special dialect of German.
Okay.
We speak a special dialect of German, which even the Germans don't understand. Then we speak French, we speak Italian, and a very weird Latin-based Roman language called Romanche, which about 10,000 people up in high mountain valleys speak. So we got 4 official languages, and you can't survive without English. And I also got that from running in the family. So yeah, it's about I speak 4 languages. Yeah, and
wow.
That's
hey, Will, you have to teach him here in America. You speak New York, You speak Jersey, you speak Southern, you speak Texan. So you're going to have to learn some other languages here. Right,
Well, I'll
Will?
tell you the funniness of this story is that me and Fox tend to like to play a prank on each other each tour. And
That's what I
my
was going to
prank
ask.
here, well, my first prank on Florian was our first tour down in Texas. I introduced him to crawfish. Well,
I remember
it's not the top of European cuisine. I've been there myself, you know, and he was asking how to peel it. And I said, well, you know, you got to rip the tail off and then squeeze real hard, and it exploded in Florian's eye. But don't feel bad, because Florian got me back this past tour. He was telling me words that weren't really the words in a different language. So when I would go to talk to people, I won't say the words, but when I would go to talk to people, I noticed they were giving me these very blunt looks. One of which was a preacher that I ran into. And I noticed real quick that I think Fox is sabotaging the language that I'm saying.
Well, I just couldn't get you, let you go without a punishment for that.
Oh, I was severely punished, so I just learned to keep it to Dankeschön, which is thank you in German.
Actually, as I'm thinking about it, Will, tonight we're going to be playing at Green Hall in New Braunfels, Texas.
Okay.
And I couldn't help but notice that all around that place, there must have been some German-speaking people around there a couple of, maybe 100 years ago, because all the places there have German names. They even have beer halls. Yeah.
Really?
It's a German word. Yeah, it's a beer restaurant. Yeah, absolutely. So this is actually in Green Hall. It's spelled Grune Hall, which is green in German. So you might be able to try out a couple of these words that I taught you tonight.
I won't do
Wow.
that, because this is a sold-out show at Green Hall, and I intend to make an impression myself, and that's not maybe the best impression to make.
We'll see about that, man. It's going to be a fine show there.
Do you guys have nicknames for each other that you could say out loud?
It's a mutual thing. We just go with Hoss.
You call him Flo, or you just call him Fox? I mean, what nicknames do you guys have for each other?
Really, I call him Hoss or Fox. That's usually the way it goes on my end.
I usually call him Hoss or Wesley, but I only call him Wes when I'm angry at him.
Which he says it a lot.
Okay, I guess I can't ever call you Wesley then, because I don't ever want to be mad at you, Will.
Oh, you can call me Wesley. I've been called a lot worse.
I wouldn't ask you what those are. So as far as so you guys are actually going to be singing together or separate? What's going to happen with your concerts? You guys on tour? Tell us about that. What's going on?
Well, we got a string of dates starting tonight at Green Hall. We're going to be Florian, we got a 30-minute opening spot, right?
Yeah. So tonight is going to be a big night, because we're playing at Green Hall, which is the birthplace of legends. It was built in 1878, and ever since, it's been one of Texas's best dance halls, the most famous dance halls, and it's also called the Texas Grand Ole Opry. So to speak.
Yes.
And usually when you want to play there, you need to have Willie Nelson status, or need to be somebody of similar recognition. But we got a very lucky strike there, because I played with Kevin Gale from the 2 Tons of Steel, the famous Texas band. I played with them a couple of times in Europe. So yeah, said, well, Florian, why don't you come over and play at Green Hall with me? And he gave us the opening slot for the famous 2 Tons Tuesday. So we're going to be playing 30 minutes tonight, warming up the crowd for the big time dance night.
2 tons of music in 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! As long as the weather stays good, I hope.
Oh yeah, I think that hurricane is good now to here. I drove through it, and it wasn't that bad.
What's it like to drive through a hurricane? Come on.
Well,
when you song in there, driving through a hurricane, what do you think?
I think we'll pin it down after this. See, we're gonna have to give Judy some writing credit.
A little bit of credit. Just put JS on there, and that's all I need. First initial.
That's right. No, the weather wasn't too bad. The hurricane, I'm joking, but the hurricane was more or less, we still had some wind, some rain going on, some power outages, but we got here just fine. And it looks like the weather has cleared up just fine for the show tonight. So we're definitely looking forward to it. And it's right in time for our new single release that's coming out in a week or so.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Can you
Time's
tell us a
catching
little
up.
bit about it? Like
I sure can.
yay!
It's called "Time's Catching Up to Me," and it's a song. It's a good upbeat kind of classic country rockabilly song. Would you say that's a
Yeah.
good description?
Absolutely, man.
We're it's just a song about being on the road and moving so fast paced. Sometimes you just got to settle down because you feel time's biting on you a little bit.
Wow, I can't wait to hear that. Make sure I get it so I can talk to you again about it. We love talking to you
Oh,
guys.
you'll be the first to have it.
What's your social media?
I could
Let all
tell
of
you.
our viewers know about your social media.
You can check me out at willwesleymusic.com, and also you can check out any of my singles or my singles with Florian on any of your favorite online digital stores. It's all there, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you go. Just Will Wesley and Florian Fox. We're there.
Yeah, for me, it's FlorianFox.com, or if you're looking for me on YouTube, on Instagram, or TikTok, it's FlorianFox.music.
I love how you guys have your dot music, because it's all about the music. And we love that both of
Oh,
you are
That's
out
what it's
there
about.
giving us great music, even though it is down in Texas and not in California. But okay, when are you coming out here? West Coast.
We got to get to California, Fox. I did a show at the
yeah.
prestigious Whiskey A Go Go not too long ago, and
Yes, I
we're
was out of
yeah,
town.
yeah.
I was out of town when you had yours here. I'm like, what is up with that?
You were. We're
Yes,
just
I
gonna have to
was.
rebook. Maybe bring the Fox along for that. That's a great
All
night.
right. It's fun there, isn't it?
Oh, it's another one of those places where it's kind of magical. It's like, hey, Slash nearly died on this stage. This is great.
Yeah, I almost died a couple of times there. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Yeah,
In a
I
good
can
way.
relate in a good way.
In a
The
good
memories live forever.
exactly. So what does your tour look like for both of you going forward?
Well, after we get done tonight, we're going to all make our way back to Louisiana, and we got a very good evening with Florian Fox and Will Wesley show in Walker, Louisiana, at the the Holy Ground venue. It's going to be great, and then we're going to a good old fashioned honky tonk called the Ditch Bar out in Springfield, Louisiana, and then for Florian, it's off to Nashville, right?
That's right. So I'll be touring with my Nashville mentor, Chuck Mead. He's also my producer. Chuck Mead used to be with BR549, the famous Honky-Tonk and Hillbilly band that sort of brought Nashville back on the map in the 90s and early 2000s and brought it back to what it is today,
Yeah.
the famous live music city. And I'm going to have the big privilege of accompanying Chuck on 5 dates all throughout the U.S. We're going to be playing in Tennessee. We're going to be playing in Kansas. We're going to be playing in Nebraska, Missouri, and so forth. And it's going to be a big stream of shows. Looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, we appreciate both of you taking the time to talk to us here at the Hollywood Times. And we will be putting this up on our YouTube channel, Hollywood Times Official, and we'll be sharing that with you. So if you want to share it on your socials, that'd be great because it'll be on all of ours as well. Very good. Really quick, Mr. Fox. So are you here full time here in the US or are you kind of back and forth?
I lived in Nashville for a long period of time. Right now, I'm sort of shooting in and out. Whenever we're playing tours in the U.S., I come over. I usually live around either Nashville or in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And yeah, we'll see what the future brings. But right now, I'm touring both Europe and the U.S., so I'm wherever the tour needs me.
And let our viewers know really quickly, it's country music really popular over there in Europe, isn't it?
It is, yes, yeah, and that's it may not be something that a lot of people would expect, but um, country music is greatly respected in Europe, especially in Switzerland. We have a very strong scene. We also have a very strong tie with the U.S. Because um, the U.S. and Switzerland, we share the same constitution, the same constitutional system. We got a long history binding the two countries together. So it's not surprising for me that also culturally there's a strong bond. And Swiss people have always looked up to America, you know, because we're, you know, small country. Well, so look, that's our big brother, you know, that's our that's family, right? And yeah, so it's also culturally, you know, we're strongly together, and it's wonderful to be able to bring Swiss folk music. That's what I do, right? Swiss folk music
Oh,
tied
nice.
together with country music, and sort of give this unique blend and bring it to America and see how people react so excitedly to that, and also bring Will as a representative or American outlaw, as you call him,
Yeah,
right? As you're calling,
that's him.
bring him to Swiss and
Yeah,
see people react and go all crazy to have him back next year.
it really was wonderful tours there. 7 sold out shows, and the crowds were just electrifying. And to conclude it with the Trucker Fest, with thousands of people clapping and singing along to the songs, is just an amazing thing.
I gotta say, that's got to be pretty cool for you guys when you're singing and then you stop singing and your fans continue. What is that like on stage? How
Oh,
does it feel to you, both of you?
it's quite magical for me. How do you feel about it, Fox?
Sometimes, yeah, absolutely. I'm in on this with you. It's just magic that doesn't happen anywhere else. It's when you
Yeah.
feel that you have a bond with the people who come to your shows. And sometimes I don't know how you feel about this, but you sit down and think, how did it get so far? You know, how did this all happen? And I just deem myself a very, very lucky guy that
Fox, what I think is that I get to take a vocal break while the crowd is singing, trying to catch my breath for a moment or two. That's what I think, but it is very magical in its nature.
Oh, you too. You're a hoot. It'd be, I wish I could be down there to watch you. So hopefully when you do come around next time in California, I'll definitely make it out there to see you too.
You
It
might just
was
get
a
some
pleasure.
tickets in the mail, Judy.
Yes, yes, and we'll have to show you around some of the Hollywood secrets when you do come.
Please do. I think we'll make a plan of that.
looking forward to that, Judy.
It's so nice to meet you virtually, and hopefully we'll all meet in person soon out here in California. Any parting words for us, gentlemen?
Just want to thank you for having us on the show, and thank all your listeners for tuning in and viewers, and just thank them for their support. And hey, keep your eyes and ears open. You're going to see a lot of us in the near future.
Yeah, please say hi to all the folks in California. Feels just like home. It's good
That's
to be
right.
with you.
All right. Thank
Thanks
you
so
both for,
much, Judy.
thank you too for joining us. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.